New video. Today we're doing NFL player props here on PrizePicks for Monday, December 19th. We got Monday Night Football here. We got the Rams versus the Packers. Before I get started, there's a link in the description below to sign up for PrizePicks. You can use promo code TUFF or use the link in the description. They will match 100% of your first deposit. Currently, they got the 12 days of pick miss going on here. Today, we got any player with a sweater on. If you add them to your prop, just sweater players, there'll be 3x or 4x instead of 3x your bet. So definitely go ahead and check that out if you're not yet signed up for PrizePicks. Link in the description or promo code TUFF. Also a Discord link in the description where main server is completely free. We do also have a Patreon link where I do post all the plays here that I am making on PrizePicks on Patreon. Go ahead and check that out as well. I do need to mention I'm not a gambling expert. This is not financial advice, simply just the plays I'm personally looking at making. Hopefully giving you guys some insight and analysis to make your own player prop decisions here. But let's get into it. We got the Rams-Packers here. This game's going to be played in Lambeau, in Green Bay, 24 degrees, so cold night here, 39.5 over-under. Obviously, both of these teams, historically, or I guess over the last 3 or 4 seasons, have been really, really great. This season, 4-9 Rams, Packers are 5-8. Essentially, both these teams are not yet out of the playoff race, though. Packers are going to be 7.5-point home favorites here. Baker Mayfield starting for the Rams. As far as injury notes go, Aaron Donald's going to be out for this one still, and David Bakhtiari is going to be out as well. But let's get into it, you guys. 2 props that I do like here on PrizePicks Monday Night Football. Let's get into it. So the first one I like is going to be Baker Mayfield, and surprise, we're going to take a Baker Mayfield prop here. But I just think there's some value here at 16.5 pass completions here. Taking a look at PrizePicks, 4 of his last 5. Obviously, his last game and only game with the Rams at 22 pass completions where he played honestly terrific here against the Raiders, but 16.5 is some value. So Baker Mayfield on the season, even back to Carolina, he's hit this 4 of his last 5 games, including the games with Carolina, which overall play calling and just offensive scheme was not as good, I think, in my opinion, compared to what he has with the Rams. Quarterbacks here against the Packers as well, decent amount. I mean, we had Justin Fields, Daniel Jones, and Heineke all have 20 plus pass completions, which Justin Fields went 20 for 25 against the Packers just 2 weeks ago through 254 yards. So that's definitely positive, considering you could say Justin Fields, which to me an electric player, but not the thrower that we want him to be yet, in my opinion. But Baker Mayfield, there's just so much juice here. If you take a look, open line was at 18.5. The consensus is 17.5, so at minus 114. So we are getting a discount here on PrizePicks currently. But DraftKings has a 16.5 minus 150. Even Caesars down here at 16.5 minus 139. So the odds here pretty heavy on the over 16.5 for Baker Mayfield in a game where he is going to be 7.5 point underdogs. Going to probably have to throw quite a bit in this offense. He's got weapons, in my opinion. Tutu Atwell, Van Jefferson, Skoranek, some checkdowns maybe to Cam Akers and Kyron Williams. Tyler Higbee still there. But 16.5 just seems a little bit too low for a player that's going to be underdogs, essentially, in this game. We'll see. Obviously, the spreads aren't always correct, but I think he's going to have to pass in this game here. I think 30 pass attempts is strong as well here at 30. This could be a strong play depending on which one you feel more comfortable with. But I'm going with 16.5 pass completions here. In my opinion, the Packers just against quarterbacks on the season have been pretty tough. But, lately, if you take a look at the last 4 weeks, they've given up the most yards per attempt to quarterbacks, right? So Baker Mayfield has a great matchup, 9.25 yards per attempt. So I think Baker Mayfield's going to be able to push the ball down the field here against the Packers. But like I said, minus 150 here on DraftKings at 16.5. It opened at 18, and the consensus is 17.5. So just too good a value here for me to not take this play. Baker Mayfield over 16.5 pass completion is going to be the first one for this game. A receptions prop, we're going to be looking at AJ Dillon, over 1.5 receptions here. He's hit this in his last 2 games, 3 receptions against Philadelphia and Chicago. Had 2 receptions down here against Detroit. But I just think there's value here at 1.5. We just need 2 from him. AJ Dillon, over his last 2 games has seen 4 targets and 3 targets out the backfield. And just on the season, he's got multiple games with 3+ targets. Actually, 7 games this season with 3+ targets. How many games here? We got 6 games total here with over 2 receptions, or with over 1.5 receptions. But the snap count here for AJ Dillon's positive, in my opinion, at 1.5, considering, Aaron Rodgers and the Packers offense, Matt LaFleur, they do like the checkdowns to their running backs. We saw Aaron Jones have 5 receptions here in the last game, and AJ Dillon has 3. So, that's 8 receptions to running backs as a whole. And the snap counts for AJ Dillon have been positive, right? 68% compared to Aaron Jones' 38% here in Week 13. This is kind of somewhat a committee, right? 66 had more snaps than Aaron Jones here in week 9, 38 to 70 here in week 10, 48 to 66, 43 71, and 68 to 38. So there's going to be enough snaps here for AJ Dillon to hit the over on this one, in my opinion. The juice is on the over as well. You can see BetMGM has it set minus 145 along with DraftKings at minus 145. So I just think there's value here at 1.5. Obviously, I would not play this at 2, but at 1.5, I just think if he can get 3-4 targets in this game, that should cash. I just like this a little bit more than his receiving yards, and I definitely like this more than his rush yards in this game. Rams have been pretty stout at stopping the run. But AJ Dillon over 1.5. Again, like I said, if you can get 3-4 targets here, this should be an easy over in my opinion. Coming off back-to-back games here where he has seen significant work out the backfield, catching the ball, 4 targets and 3 targets, 26 yards, 24 yards. Definitely positive for him. Seeing a significant amount of snaps as well in this game. Like I said, minus 145 on BetMGM and DraftKings on the over 1.5. So these are the two plays here I'm playing here. Obviously, this is not a greatest game. Honestly, a pretty ugly game on paper. 39.5 over under here. But I'm taking these two 16.5 passing completions for Baker Mayfield, over 1.5 receptions for AJ Dillon. Let me know in the comments below, you guys, feel about these two. Drop a like, hit that subscribe button, and as always, let's cash.